Hi,
Hi,
Diva.
Divas.
Welcome to a special edition of the Diva discussion. I'm your host, Savannah Below, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Serena Epperson.
Hi.
And we are joined today by our special guest, Caro. Welcome to the Diva discussion.
How are you? We're so excited to have you.
I am so excited to be here. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. We always start off these interviews that we do. We always start off with asking your Mount Rushmore. So, who is, it can be anyone like past, it can be current, but who is your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
Well, that's a tough question, but I think I should get started with like the obvious choice, right? Like John Cena, I think that's my number one.
Hmm.
Um, then I'd have to go for the person who got me back into wrestling when I stopped watching, Finn Balor.
Okay. There you
Then
go.
I'll do Cody Rhodes.
hmm
I think his current work is brilliant. It's definitely gotten a lot of fans back into WWE. And of course, AJ Lee.
Oh, yes.
Love, love. No, Cena, AJ are like they're in my top. They're in my top four too.
Yeah, I grew up watching both of them. Very different eras, I think, because I started watching in 2008.
Yeah.
Um, and that was like when Cena was all over the place. And AJ didn't come in until later,
Mhm.
but I grew up watching the Divas era with girls like, Kelly, Eve Torres, Maryse, and I love those girls, but I never quite felt like I could relate to them.
Mhm.
And then AJ came in and she's like the tomboyish girl. She likes comic books, anime, all that stuff. So I felt myself represented there. So I feel like even though she's not a career wrestler, she's always going to be a fan favorite and just my personal favorite because of that same reason.
I
Yeah,
feel like if she ever does decide to come back, which hopefully she does, it's going to be insane. Everyone's going to go insane.
Oh, the pop that she's going to get is crazy. I think even louder than CM Punk. I,
oh,
I feel like also if she did ever decide to come back, she would have to do it at like Mania or something in that.
like it has to be a big event.
It has to be insane.
If it's not the Rumble, then I don't know.
Yeah, no, we went to the Royal Rumble this year, and
Mhm.
obviously, like there's rumors that she was there and that she was coming back, and we get to 30, we're like, all right, AJ, AJ, AJ.
I can't imagine how insane that must have been. I was watching it in my house and I was sweating. I kept telling myself, don't get too excited. She's not showing up. But like you can't help but feel a little bit of hope, like number 30. Uh,
Mhm.
And we did end up getting Nikki Bella, which was
Yeah.
great too. It was
Mhm.
great too. Love Nikki Bella over here.
No, it wasn't my AJ. I had a sign too. I had a sign made for AJ too, because I was like, if she shows up and I don't have anything for her, I'm going to be mad.
I hope that whenever she does, if she chooses to come back, it's on her own terms and when she's fully comfortable both like physically and mentally more than anything. Because I've seen a lot of interviews lately where she's talking about like everything that she did go through when she was in the company. So as long as she's okay with coming back, I think that's what's important.
Yeah,
Yes, that first.
definitely making sure it's on her own terms.
Yes.
hmm And then I know you mentioned Cena, and you were at Mania this year.
Oh,
Got to see that
yes.
17th world title win. And
Yes.
how was that?
I always think it's very poetic that he wins his 17th world title when it's the 17th year that I've been his fan. So it's sort of just
Yes.
circle. Feels like he did that for me.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I am a Cody girl and I'm a Cena girl, so this entire feud has been crazy for me. Where I'm kind of like, oh, back and forth. But being able to experience that, his win was monumental. Vegas loved Cena. Um, I know like there's a lot to be said about the crowd. I definitely hated that they booed Cody.
hmm
But I think it's important to mention that the crowd was very much people who grew up with John Cena. there was people sitting both nights next to me and my boyfriend that had been watching WWE when they were kids. They stopped watching altogether, but they came to the event just to see John Cena.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it wasn't a surprise that the crowd was so pro Cena, but I mean, it sucks because I also hated like the reaction that Cody got.
I
Hmm.
know when we were watching, we were very surprised. We were like, are they booing Cody?
Yes. I think the people that got the worst boos were Cody and Bianca. They got the worst boos of the night.
Oh, I didn't know. I forgot that I didn't notice that they were booing Bianca.
Yeah, it was loud. I Vegas is crazy. Apparently they want to go back soon. I don't know about that.
With going to Mania, we know you also met John Cena
Oh
himself.
God.
How was that whole interaction? Because the picture, I can't stop staring at it because he just looks so happy, and like you guys look so happy. It's just such a cute photo.
Uh,
How was meeting him?
First off, the experience itself, like the whole, like how the event was organized, was not very good. I know you guys have been to the meet and greets at like the Rumble and at other events, so you kind of have an idea of how it can get really hectic.
Oh,
But this was insane. There was like around 800 people in the line to meet him. The line went like around the entire venue. It was just insane. They were running
nice.
short on time, which sucked because I had a meet and greet with Dom.
Hmm.
So I got out of the line for Cena and did my own thing with Dom. And then I came back and the staff did not want to let us back in. They were telling us like, sorry, like there's not enough time left. Obviously, like I was freaking out. There's people there also waiting. There's this guy from Peru that was like, I came all the way from my hometown to meet him, but the staff was very insistent, like, no, we cannot let anybody in. There was only around five of us there, but luckily a staff member came in and did let us in. But I know that like around 20 to 30 people did not get to meet him in the end because of how rushed, like, and organized everything was. I should also mention that Cena did not like being rushed. He was taking his time with everybody, which was, I guess, both a good and a bad thing. Good for us, the fans, right? But also bad because they scheduled him for an interview with Pat McAfee right before the meet and greet, and I think that took a chunk of the time that he was supposed to be there for the photo op. But my experience, other than like that hectic and anxiety-inducing experience before meeting him, was great. He's the sweetest person in the world. I knew that when I met him, I wanted to let him know that he was really important to me, but I didn't know how fast like the meet and greet was gonna go. So as soon as like it was my turn, like I hugged him and I started tearing up really bad. But like I remembered, oh my God, with the pictures coming up, okay, I need to look good. Let me just breathe in, breathe out. And they took the picture. And as soon as we took the picture, like he turned to look at us. And that's when I just started crying. And I told him, like, thank you for saving my life. And the look on his face, so genuine and like he was listening. Sometimes you tell someone something to someone and like they're hearing you out, but he was listening. His expression changed, and he told me it means so much that you told me that. Thank you. And it's something that I'm gonna hold forever. For he is my hero. He's my idol. He's someone that I look up to. I've looked up for almost 20 years. So it was such a beautiful experience. I would go through the whole hectic and unorganized WWE World experience just so I could meet him and for that to happen all over again.
No, yeah, like I said, like your photo looks so cute and like he genuinely, like he looked so happy. And I really hope those 20 people who didn't get to meet him got a refund because
No,
that's
I'm pretty sure they
crazy.
did. But I
They,
just felt so bad because they're crying. Like you could see people on the line that they were crying. I was like, no. Like I remember telling my boyfriend, I don't want to look at them because then I'm gonna start crying. Because that could have been us.
yeah.
That really could have been us.
Yeah.
I also know that you also got upgraded to front row at Stand and Deliver.
Yes, we
How
did.
was that also? You just had a crazy experience in Vegas
Honestly,
overall.
honestly, I have no idea how that happened. I know they moved some seats around. I don't know if it was random or anything, but we just got there. We're trying to get to our seats, and they tell us, "Congrats, you guys have been upgraded to floor." And I didn't know how close to the floor it was. Like I was thinking in the back. They put us right in barricade.
Um,
That was insane. That was crazy. I felt like, am I being recorded right now? Is this like, am I being punked or something? It was great. I don't know what else to say. It was a great weekend.
yeah.
It
I love
sounds
NXT. When they came here to Cincinnati, like it was so fun. NXT is just so fun to go to.
Do you
yeah.
guys have a favorite in NXT?
We do. I love Roxanne Perez. Even though
Ooh,
she's definitely going to be called up to the main roster soon. I'm obsessed with Roxanne Perez. And also Ethan Page,
ooh.
Saints.
Mhm.
Um, Sol Ruka, love Sol Ruka, Zarya, Tatum Paxley. Yeah, I just love all of them. It's such a like the women's division. Oh, Jordan Grace, Stephanie, like they're all just so good.
Funny.
And NXT has the best women's division, and I die on that hill.
I think my favorite always is Ethan Page currently. Like
Mhm.
I love All Ego. And then I love Miles Bourne. Love that he's getting this opportunity at Battleground, so it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think Ethan should be called up to the main roster really soon too.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's a matter
him,
of
Trick
time.
Williams, yeah, they're all gonna be moved up.
Why do you think like we're seeing Roxanne Perez talking to Finn Balor in the background of Raw? Like what is happening there?
I have no idea. Like I've been seeing that too, and I maybe they're just gonna throw Roxanne with Judgment Day a little bit, maybe. Who knows?
I'm
I don't know.
thinking I'm
I don't know.
thinking Finn is gonna convince her and Julia to go after Liv and Raquel's tag team titles.
I did not think of that.
I think that's the plan.
That'd be good.
Wait, I would love that because I've also Savannah can testify to this. I told her that I would love a Roxanne and Liv feud.
Yeah, I think that's where
I
we're
think it's
going.
good.
I think Julia and Roxanne losing to Liv, no, sorry, to Rhea and Io was to sort of create some tension. I think that's when Roxanne is going to come in and say, I got us a title opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, because Julia was like just walked out on Roxanne. I don't know
Mhm.
if you've seen that part, but Roxanne was like, "We got to make a plan. We got to talk to Adam Pierce and stuff like that." And then Julia was like, "We," and then just walked away from her. And
I
Mhm.
so
think that's where
bringing
we're
that in,
going.
wait, I think you cooked with that. That's actually that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see them. I would hope to like not extend the Judgment Day story. I think we need to get going with this breakup. It's been taking so long. As a
I
Finn
agree.
Balor stan, I am so over it. I need him to go do his solo thing, whether he's a face or a heel. I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. He's such a good heel though.
He is, but I kind of want to see the demon back. So
Yeah. There's been some well, I for some reason I thought he was gonna bring it back with his match with Gunther and Damien at Survivor Series. I thought for a second he was gonna bring it back.
I wonder because I don't think we've seen the demon as a heel. So it kind of he kind of just stands on its own as his own entity. So
Mhm.
it'd be interesting to see like Dom provoke Finn so much to the point that he has to bring out the demon, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. We also know that you create content. You are so for some people who aren't familiar with your content, what kind of do you want to kind of just explain a little bit
Of
for
course. Yeah.
what kind of content you make?
Well, I go by CL Wrestling on YouTube and on TikTok. I record reactions to content. I started back like right after like during WrestleMania 40.
No.
Um, I posted my reaction to Cody winning the title and that blew up. Uh, most of those reactions have a million views, so it's been kind of crazy. And it just kind of went from there. Some random PLEs I record reactions for this past WrestleMania. I put up a lot of reactions as well, crowd reactions. I also post mini vlogs. I mean, you guys have posted your vlogs too when you went to Raw, so
Yeah.
too. But it's been fun, honestly. I did not. I was recording content for WrestleMania, this past one, and I don't know where I was up like 6,000 followers
Wow.
from like one weekend after that same weekend. It was crazy. For YouTube, I also post like compilations of my reactions to the shows.
Hmm.
I'm more active on TikTok though at CL Wrestling.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I also do like that. I think that's when like I first saw your content was on TikTok. And I was like, I gotta follow this girl. I love her. I love her content. And then I went over to your Instagram. I was like, no way she met Cena. Thought it was so crazy. That has to be your biggest flex is meeting Cena.
Yeah, I mean, I also met Seth back in 2019, and it was back when they weren't rushed. Like back in the day, you could literally have like a 2 to 5 minute conversation with them and they wouldn't rush you.
Hmm.
I also met like Undisputed Era, Mia Yim. That was in the Rumble back in 2019 when they did like the Rumble Access. It's way different now. I'll say that. It's
It is
entirely
really
different now. Uh, so it's gonna take a while for me to get used to, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, meeting Cena 100% be like the biggest flex because that is like my biggest, like the biggest person I want to meet. So
yeah,
hopefully.
yes, pressing, yeah, of course. I'm sure you will. I'm sure he'll have more photo ops this year.
Yeah.
The one at WWE World was so random because they did not promote him until they dropped the tickets. Like a random like weekday, they were like, "Oh, by the way, he's headlining Monday," and
But,
that was kind of crazy.
wait,
fast.
no, that is crazy. And then I know you mentioned 2008 was the year you started watching wrestling. So was there a certain wrestler that like got you into it? Was it a storyline? Um,
Um, my brother had the video games,
okay.
so I remember seeing John Cena on the cover of the video game, and I was like, "Who is that?" And we would play, and he would be Randy, and I'd be Cena. And I mean, I would always lose, right? But that's when I started watching it, and yeah, it's been Cena. I was also a big fan of Christian, Chris Jericho back in the day, Tori Wilson.
Hmm.
Those characters were what got me into wrestling. But I think for sure John Cena was the one that
Yeah.
really got me into it.
Hmm. No, I same sentiment. Money in Bank 2014, Cena winning the ladder match
Yeah.
was my first ever show match I watched. So definitely always John Cena. And I feel like that's the same for a lot of people. For sure, John Cena has been such a big name for wrestling and will
He
continue.
really is. He really is the greatest of all time when you think about it.
Exactly. He is.
Like I feel like even non-WWE fans, like if you ask them like what's the first thing that comes to your mind when someone says WWE, they immediately say John Cena.
Hmm.
Yeah, he is the face of WWE, and you see people now like Cody who kind of is stepping into that role
Mhm.
because Cena's kind of outside the door now. But I think that people always remember John Cena as being the face of WWE, just like they remember The Rock, Stone Cold from back in the day. I think.
Um, where did okay.
Then where do you see yourself taking your content? Because obviously you have your reactions. Is there anything you want to expand towards for your content?
Oh yeah, I want to keep on growing my platform. I follow several YouTube channels where you have people who started out just doing random like podcasts and videos, and then they end up interviewing those same wrestlers and being invited to the show. So of course that's like a dream. I'm sure you guys can relate. Just being able
Hmm.
to be invited to these shows and have my own questions for these like wrestlers, and I think that's a dream to be able to interview those people and be it being on my channel and on my account.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that is definitely one that we have for ourselves as well. I mean, who doesn't? Everyone's wish is to like be invited out to like
Right.
something that you've loved for so long.
Thankfully, we live in a time where it's becoming so common for content creators to be more involved. Like you see WWE posting those reactions to crazy moments on their TV, you know?
Yes.
So it's definitely possible. I think the era of how much social media has influenced wrestling is leading to that. And I can definitely see you guys getting to that point as well.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm very excited to see where your content goes because already I love it personally for me. Um,
Thank you.
and I'm very, very excited to see where you take it.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Serena, do you have any more questions?
I do not.
I don't either, so I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. So, thank you everybody for watching. Uh, Follow us on Instagram at Diva Discussion Pod and TikTok at the Diva Discussion. And Cara, did you want to promote any of your social media for where people can find you?
Yes, you can go ahead and follow me on TikTok at CL Wrestling, same user on YouTube and on Instagram at Hio Caro.
All right.
Bye,
Bye,
Diva.
Diva.